Yeah, let me look. Hey guys, how's everyone doing today? Yeah, who's excited?
Hey everyone, welcome to the Rooster Teeth podcast. This week, special edition, coming to you from South by Southwest at the Samsung Blogger Lounge. Thanks to What's Trending for having us out here.
I'm Shira Lazar, the host and co-founder of What's Trending. We are so excited to be with you here on stage at the Samsung Blogger Lounge. We're live on What's Trending. So we encourage everyone to tweet with the hashtag Samsung SXSW.
That's right there on the screen. You can see it.
Wow, visual stuff.
So, as every week, I'm here. I'm Gus Cirola.
I'm Gavin Free.
And Shira already
I'm
introduced
Bernie
herself.
Burns. No, just kidding.
And also featuring Gus Cirola. So this week, we're doing things a little different thanks to the help here from the What's Trending crew. We have a couple of special guests with us.
We do. What's Trending has been here live at the Samsung Blogger Lounge in South by Southwest all week with amazing guests, and we are lucky enough to get, shall we introduce them? Should we give a special introduction
let's
now?
get them out here.
The stars of Cesar Chavez. We have Rosario Dawson and Diego Luna. Give it up for them. Of course. Nice
Hello.
to see you here. Thank you so much.
If your drinks run dry, we do have whiskey.
Do you want any whiskey?
And of course, Diego Luna directed this film. It's only your second film directing it.
That's
and
correct, yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank
We're
you.
hearing such great stuff about this movie, and it means a lot to a lot of people that the story is being told.
Well, yeah, it's been 4 years of our lives, but it's been many years since this happened. We focus on what happened through the 61 and 71 in the fields of California and the Great Boycott that basically connected the story of farm workers with everyone in America, with consumers. So it's been a long time, and it hasn't been celebrated in film, and we're really happy that finally there's a film that young people can watch and find out who Cesar Chavez was.
And I think it's great. This is a huge historic figure that I feel has been underserved traditionally in media. My parents were immigrant farm workers in that time. So not only my parents, my grandparents, saw huge benefits from the work that he did out there pioneering. And so it's really awesome. I haven't had a chance to see the film yet, but I've got a film pass. I'm going to see it as soon as I can.
Well, and that's for free, so make sure the 28th of March you also buy a ticket.
Oh, okay.
Right? So we can send the message that our stories need to be portrayed in
We
cinema.
should say it again, March 28th.
March 28th.
Make sure you buy a
600
ticket.
screens in this country, so yeah, now it's yours.
Does it feel like a big responsibility to tell a story like this that hasn't really been told to the general American public or represented in this way in the past?
Yeah, I mean, there's many of them are still alive, working. Dolores Huerta is out there fighting for what she believes in, and many of the movement, and not just them, but they have families, friends, and obviously it was a big pressure. We shot in Mexico, which was great because we could hide a little bit from that pressure, because you are in California and everyone has a connection with the story. Everyone was there, or their parents, or. So it's not the same than doing just a fictional film where it's all about you and your demons. Here it's the pressure of a whole community.
Definitely. I want to encourage everyone, if you were asking me how can you ask questions, well, I am in the chat room right now. Also, if you tweet with the hashtag Samsung SXSW, we'll be taking your questions in that way. Let's talk about your character, but really a real person that you're portraying in this, and what it was like to portray such an important figure as part of this movement.
Yes, I played Dolores Huerta, which was unnerving, amazing, incredible, an honor, but also really scary. Because even though we were in Mexico, we were talking on the phone the whole time. So I was definitely getting feedback from her all the time. And I just felt really lucky that I had met her before. I co-founded a voting organization called Voto Latino that turned 10 years old this year, which is exciting.
Nice.
And so we actually met a few years back doing work and talking about immigration reform and different town hall that we had done and things. So she's come and spoke at our summits and things. So she's just incredible. She's in her mid-80s. She's getting people signing petitions. She won the Medal of Freedom while we were filming. I mean, she's just so on point. And it definitely, as exciting and honorable and amazing that she gave me, her blessing to do the role, it also was just really scary to play someone who you knew was real, who was there, who could say something and give you feedback. Because I can't imagine what that must feel like to watch your life be depicted in a film. You don't have that carte blanche of just going, this is what my artistic license is to just perform. You're portraying someone, and you want to respect what they went through and kind of get their feedback. And so it was interesting. She's seen the movie since. She tweeted me.
She
that
tweeted
she
you?
did. She
Nice.
tweeted me that she loved the performance and that she was really happy that I played her and all of this. So I was just
Yeah, she's behind the film, and she's
Very
been
much
coming
so.
with us. She went to Berlin. She went recently to Berkeley, and she grabs the mic and tells everyone why they have to see this film. It's amazing to see actually a film that can serve someone else's work that you respect and admire. You know.
Yeah, that must help really drive the passion, still having that connection to someone who will still be such a vocal advocate.
Yeah, she got everyone doing a Si Se Puede in Berlin,
Nice.
got them doing the soul clap.
Wow.
Like, she's incredible.
Tell us what it was like on set, because obviously this is your first English-speaking film. In terms of directing, not English, and obviously you probably had a mixture of cultures and languages on set. So tell me what that dynamic was like.
I guess for them was painful, you know, because it takes me a lot of time to get to say what I want to say. And,
It's not true.
A little bit. I mean, directing is about the little stuff between this and this other word, and my English is not that good. I'm good at reading or at learning something, but when it has to come... But it's, I guess, how the movement worked, you know. Cesar had to train a lot his Spanish to engage with farm workers in the fields that wouldn't speak English, because for Cesar was different. Cesar is a first generation. And that's the complexity that when they portray our community, you never see, you know. That is not the same to be the one just crossing the border than those who have been on this side of the border without being able to go back for 30 years. Those who are first generation, second or third, you know, that they have to go to school and they're not... I mean, they don't allow them to speak Spanish, but then they go home and everything is in Spanish. You want to belong into a country that reminds you every day you don't belong. There's an interesting complexity, you know, that normally you don't see in film. And we had that going on set, you know. It was people from everywhere, and Spanglish run for the whole time. My team was Mexican. At the same time, I wanted to be able to let John Malkovich know what he had to do, so it had to be in English. But then John speaks in Spanish, so you would see him training Spanish, sitting on his chair from morning till evening, because he was very afraid of not delivering it the right way. So it was interesting.
Gavin, do you know Spanish, Gavin?
I don't know any Spanish.
He's from another country too. He feels very sometimes.
I speak English pretty well.
You speak
Really? Are you sure?
you speak British
medium.
You speak British English and American English, so you are bilingual.
Branglish.
Exactly.
It's called Branglish.
I still need a translator sometimes for a few words.
How do you feel you hope to translate this story for like the next generation? Like, what do you hope the younger generation gets from this story?
I think a sense of their history,
Yeah.
which I think is really important. You know, I think this is during a period of time that we've studied quite a lot. This is right during the civil rights movement. This is right during the beginning and budding of feminism. You know, I think a lot of the same characters in there. We have the Kennedys. We have, you know, we don't see Jesse Jackson, but that was right during that same time when Cesar did his first big fast. He got a letter from Martin Luther King. Like, so I think it's really important and relevant to sort of expand what our knowledge is of that time period and how much that affects us still today. Obviously, these issues are still quite relevant. You know, we're all talking about fair trade and fair wages. You know, that's becoming some part of our vernacular daily. But, you know, that also is immigration reform. And I think that makes it something important to watch, because I feel like when you watch this movie, it's sort of like Activism 101. It's not just one petition. It's not just one march. You know, it's a movement. And it was the first time they unionized farm workers, some of the most marginalized people in our society. And it was a small group of people at a time before Twitter, before any of that stuff. And they were able to not only get all of California to be boycotting, but it spread across America into and through the White House and out into Europe. It's a huge thing. And so I think it actually could be very encouraging for people who are taking on food justice issues now to see what they could do today, learning from what they did then, and know that they're joining a really amazing history of people who care and can make a difference.
We do have a question from Twitter in our audience. That was well said. That was well said. This goes to you, Diego. You starred, of course, in Alfonso Cuarón's breakthrough hit "Y Tu Mama También," which we all loved.
Yeah, we invented Alfonso, exactly.
What? Yeah, right.
Congratulations.
How did it feel watching him accept, and this could also go for you, Rosario, watching him accept the Oscar for Gravity? Was it meaningful to see the first Latin person accept an Oscar for Best Director? And what did that mean to both of you?
I have to say I was as shocked as I was when I realized there was no film about Cesar Chavez. It's ridiculous that it had to go to 2014 for a Latin American to receive an award, an Oscar as Best Director. That being said, it was the happiest hour in quite a long time. I was jumping, shouting. I mean, he deserves that. He's a fantastic director, a very strong voice, and a guy that has done, no matter what size his film is, he does whatever he wants, you know. That's what I call independent cinema, you know. He's always behind every decision, and it's always his point of view. And I'm so glad he got the award so young, because we're gonna see a lot from him, and definitely those things help you to not have to spend 4 years to put together another film, you know.
Yeah, and I hopefully, seeing him accept this award, I'm hoping it inspires a new generation, a younger generation of filmmakers to have someone they can look up to and try to emulate.
You know what I think the another thing that this film says, and it has a lot to do with filmmaking, is that personal stories can hit people and can make you change and can draw attention to those topics that matter to you. This community, instead of being violent or trying to hit straight the industry that was oppressing them, they went around and talked to consumers. And it was mothers talking to mothers about what was behind those grapes, you know? So, and Cesar said it many times, it's about telling your story face to face. And then you have an ally, and then you're connected with someone, and change might happen if you go out and tell your story. And that's what we do with film. So I believe that film is a tool of change, and hopefully this film inspires young filmmakers to go out and talk about what matters to them.
You talked about the word of mouth aspect, and I think previously Shira mentioned how there was no Twitter, no social media back then, but this is an instance where a campaign and a movement truly went viral. And to this day, in the grocery store, when I pass the grapes, in my head, I still think uvas no. Every time I see them, and it's like, it's a constant reminder. It's like, it's such a successful message. And I can't wait to see how it looks.
And we want to say thank you so much for being here. And of course, the film is right now at South by Southwest, but in theaters,
28th of March in the States, and then it'll follow in Latin America. And please go and send a message. We want our films out and our heroes to be represented in film. And take friends if you can. And buy
I know
as many
Gavin likes
tickets as
going
you
alone
can.
all the time. I tell him you should get a date, but
That's kind of creepy, Gavin.
All right, who wants to go with me? Anyone?
that could be like a winning thing.
Yeah, you're buying the tickets.
All right, Diego Luna, Rosario Dawson, it's
Thank
been
you
a
so much.
pleasure. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. And of course, the Rooster Teeth podcast continues.
The Rooster Teeth podcast will continue. So thank you.
Thank
for
you.
joining us.
We could lead you off. I feel like someone should lead you off. But give it up for Rosario Dawson and Diego Luna, everyone. Cesar Chavez. We appreciate your time. Sorry you couldn't get rowdy with us. Gavin's going to continue drinking. It could get crazy. It's great
Thank
seeing
you. I will.
Thank you. You're so sweet.
I just want to take a second to read this thing here.
Okay.
I want to remind everyone that the Rooster Teeth podcast is brought to you by GoDaddy.com. Don't let someone steal your great idea. Register a domain name now. Put your idea online. GoDaddy is offering one new or transfer.com for the low price of $2.95. So whether you're building your dream business or starting a website for fun, just visit GoDaddy.com, enter code Rooster295 at checkout. Some limitations apply. See website for detail. Again, it's GoDaddy.com, promo code Rooster295 for a $2.95.com domain name. Make yourself a home on the internet.
Should I say what people are saying in the chat room about you, Gavin?
No, I
What is it? Someone.
People are saying eject Gavin. Every time Gavin speaks, take a shot of whiskey.
Oh, you
We
should,
can do a
talk,
drinking
game.
you should talk a lot more.
A lot of people are just mentioning you because I think they're thinking you're very shy right now.
wouldn't. I'm shy right now.
Are you a shy
I
person?
think Gavin's knowledge of Cesar Chavez may have been a little lacking.
It's not the best.
You're-
It's not one of my strong subjects.
all about curiosity,
your knowledge of the
though.
civil rights movement in the United States in the 60s and 70s may be somewhat delinquent. I don't think that's a strong topic for school children in the UK.
It's not really.
It's probably
Do you ever worry that your life is just a bit too weird?
Yes, all the time.
Like-
look at this.
Yeah. Like yesterday, I was just like doing dishes and stuff and listening to music, and then I was just sat next to Rosario Dawson.
I know you didn't even do or say anything.
Well, I mean, what am I going to do?
Well, I don't know, like touch her leg or something. No, I'm kidding.
I'm starstruck.
Like say oh, great to meet you.
Shira
Oh my-
promotes harassment.
I know.
That's unsafe.
Thankfully, we have no HR here.
I wanted to bring someone else out
Oh,
for
yeah,
just a second, if you
let's
don't
do
mind.
that.
I've got a friend of mine out here somewhere. Glenn. Hey, get over here, Glenn.
I was enjoying calling him out.
I'll touch his leg.
You did touch his leg.
So
Yeah?
Were you nervous
grab one of
though
those
next
mics.
to her? Were you nervous? You were a bit nervous. Were you
Now I'm
scared?
happy.
Were you scared? You're like, she was a bit intimidating
Yeah.
for you.
Yeah, it's terrifying. Well, you're not terrified?
Oh, I've met her before. I've
yeah.
interviewed her
Oh,
before.
y'all are old
Shira, I
friends
know
then.
everyone. Who have you been intimidated by?
Oh, I had a bad interview with Bradley Cooper. He kind of intimidated me.
Is it because he's so dreamy?
It was like kind of, I got lost in his eyes a bit.
Did you lose track of the questions?
I did lose track. I was overtired, and I started talking. He's like, "Are you tired? Why are you so tired?" And then I was like, "Why are you doing this to me?"
Did he give you a massage?
No, an eye massage.
Oh.
He massaged my soul.
An ocular massage. It's kind of a dick move to tell someone they're tired, though, right?
I know. That's why I was like, "Are you messing with me? Or are you trying to be honest?" And then he wouldn't answer my questions. I was asking him about the film, and I was actually working for the studio, and he was just being like, "Oh yeah, I don't know." And then he was like, "I'm sorry. He knew he was messing with me, and he knew he was looking at my eyes, and he was like, "Oh, I feel bad for you, but I'm not going to give you anything. Sorry."
Yeah, when you tell someone they're tired, there's nothing that person can do about it. It's
Yeah.
excuse me for 5 hours. I'm gonna go sleep.
Yeah. He either thought I was tired or did something. I took something. I don't know.
That cucumber thing you can do on your eyes, that's bullshit, right? Does that do anything?
I'm sure it is.
Have you ever done that?
I've done that, but yeah, cold towel on my eyes. There's creams. I've done a bit of everything.
All right.
You know that
Have you done coke?
No.
What?
Gavin, no. That doesn't help your eyes. That wouldn't help your eyes.
I thought we were talking about.
You are so inappropriate. There are kids in this chat room, and we are at an official nice place.
It's
Whiskey?
Coca-Cola. Well, I wanted to talk about Glenn here for a second. I brought Glenn up because Glenn represents Operation Supply Drop, which is a charity that we're expanding our work with here at Rooster Teeth. Why don't you tell us a little bit what Operation Supply Drop is all about?
Definitely.
An 8-bit salute. You're new.
Yeah, 8-bit salute. Well, first off, thank you. I want to say thank you to Rooster Teeth for joining our cause this year. So Operation Supply Drop, we're a military charity. Oh, there we go. I'm new to this. Sorry, folks. We're a military charity that supports the troops by sending video game care packages downrange. We also do a lot of work at the recovery hospitals, more on base work. We're going into year 4, and as of Friday, we kicked off our 3rd annual 8-bit salute. It is a big event, fundraiser, ends with a 24-hour game marathon on May 17th and 18th. Which you guys are involved with. Super excited to announce Rooster Teeth, Wargaming, Naughty Dog. If they're a gaming company you've thought of, they're probably involved. Just gives y'all a good excuse to get out, play games for a good cause, and have some fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're really excited. We've been working with Operation Supply Drop for years in smaller fashions, and now Glenn is here local, so he's knocking on our door all the time, getting us more involved, and we're super happy to expand that relationship and work together to try to raise some more money for a great charity.
Definitely. No, looking forward to getting through this, raising a lot of funds and doing more work together on the bases, bringing the Rooster Teeth team out, who knows, Fort Hood, Lackland. Let's just have
It
some
might
fun.
scare Gavin. I don't know. Gavin's scared of things.
Hey, we helped the UK a week ago. We finally sent a care package overseas.
Oh, you did?
Yes, sir.
Oh, now he's interested.
Yeah, see.
Might be a dick.
Your buddy Dan's in the military?
He is, yeah. He was in Afghanistan for like 5 months.
Oh, no way.
Right
Yeah.
on.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Would you say that being involved in charity gets you laid more?
You'll have to ask my wife. Yeah.
Fair play.
Silence.
So you're saying yes.
Your single
go.
antics won't work with him, Gavin.
Yeah, sorry.
What do you think, Gavin? Do you think that's a big pickup line? Would that be a great pickup line for you,
What?
Shira?
What?
Hey, I do a lot of
Well, no,
charitable
you
work.
can't just-
Yeah, I mean, no, I respect people that do social good and charity work. I think that's cool when you think of beyond yourself. You're not just ego driven.
So
It's,
see, it
it's
works.
one of those things, though, where you can't open on that. You can't brag about that. You have to wait for them to ask you what you're doing. And it's
I
like,
used to do
oh,
it
yeah.
underhanded. What do you do? Well, I work in this, but I also giving back is more important to me.
You
It'd be
help
like-
the kids.
It'd be like you try to schedule a date, I can't that day. I'm doing my charity work that day. Can we reschedule some other time?
It is a turnoff when a guy's like, "Oh, charity work? Ugh, that's a
Whoever
annoying."
says that?
I picture that's something you would say. You are so
What?
self-centered.
Ugh, charity. I don't think I'd say that. What guys have you been spending time with? I bet Bradley Cooper said that, didn't he?
You
But
can be
hey,
honest. You can tell us.
All right.
This is why Operation Supply Drop exists, though. You get to play video games for charity. Can
Yeah.
you really say no
Sneak
to
up
that?
on the gamers for good.
Yeah, there you go.
It's awesome. Awesome combination.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I just wanted to thank you, Glenn, for taking some time to come out and join
Thank
us.
you very much.
Thank
You can check our link up on the website. We'll have a link to our team where people can join, and let's raise some money.
Hey, thank y'all. Take care.
Thanks again.
Cheers, Glenn.
I'm in the chat room right now and also on Twitter, #Samsung SXSW tweet. And I will give you a shout out on this podcast and live show.
Yes. And of course, if you're here physically in Meet Space, we've got a microphone over here. You can.
Does anyone have a question in the audience? Any fans?
Are
I
you
know we have
waiting or are you
some
just standing there?
Rooster Teeth fans.
He's just standing in front of the microphone.
What's
All
weird
right.
about this place is that you can't tell who's here for this and who's just hanging out. Like they
This
want to
place
sit
is
down.
huge. I've eaten at this restaurant before. I've never.
I know they transformed it.
This is a totally
It's
different
the Vince
space.
Young Steakhouse, but Samsung
This
has
is a
transformed
restaurant.
it.
Yeah.
I actually got some tweets for you guys before the show.
Okay.
So are you ready? All right. Why aren't there more rage quits? Those are really the best of Rooster Teeth, and that was from @the_notorious_GN.
What was the question?
Why aren't there more rage quits?
Right, because one a week's not enough. Or
They want more. Give them more.
It's a lot of screaming. So anytime Michael makes one of those, no one else can do work in the entire building because the walls are shaking and he's so angry.
yeah.
So I think one a week is more than enough.
He's pretty considerate though. He often waits for us all to go home.
He showed up early the other day. He did.
Yeah.
He filmed one with John Reisinger, and he was filming it like I'm normally like the second person to walk into the office. When I walked in at 9 a.m., he was already halfway through filming it with John.
Are you in that video, like
Yeah,
walking up to your desk?
I walked to my desk. He's like, "Hey, what's up, Gus?" I'm like,
At what point do you walk into the office? Like, are you a late guy?
At 10 or something,
Oh yeah. Or you're barely. And what does your hair look like?
like this.
It does.
But I'm not really the kind of employee who has hours. I just have to get my videos done. So as long
you're
as
one
that
of
gets done.
those.
Yeah, that's
I
the
know,
great thing. It's
special-
like
I
super
know.
flexible.
I'm kidding. I'm just playing with you. I know.
Since we only do a couple of live events a week, that's
Yeah.
really all we have to dedicate time for. We do 2, sometimes 3 live things a week.
Mm-hmm.
So other than that, the schedules are really flexible,
Yeah.
which is great during a time like South by Southwest when there's so much traffic
Yeah.
and it takes forever to get to and from work.
Yeah.
I almost got in a fight last night.
You did
At your party.
Oh, dang. Really? What happened?
I almost got beat up.
Oh, you got beat up. Okay. So
Yeah,
I was
no,
gonna
come
say,
on.
you
I'm
don't look
not
like
beating
a
anyone up. Look at
fighter.
this. A friend of mine went up to go use the bathroom, and she left her coat on her chair.
Yeah.
And some random dude came by and grabbed it and started walking off with it.
What? He wanted to wear a girl's jacket?
Yeah, it was like furry and white. It was really weird. And I grabbed it, and I'm like, "Hey, what are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I just want to go show this to my friends." I'm like, that's not your jacket. And then he got really aggro with me. He's like, what's your problem? Why are you fronting? I was like, that's not your jacket, man. Don't you just put it down? And I looked at him. The guy was like 3 inches taller than me and really muscular. I thought, this guy is going to beat the crap out of me. But I'm here with 10 people. So
Yeah.
maybe we have a chance.
That would have been a good story.
You say you're here with 10 people. You're here with 10 nerds.
10 nerds.
10 people from
10,
Rooster Teeth.
10 Rooster Teeth people.
That's the equivalent of
it's like
three
Shadow of
quarters
the
of a person.
Colossus. It's like they're climbing up on this guy, trying to take him down.
Yeah.
But yeah, then he kept coming back and making fun of me all night for protecting my friend's
So he
coat.
wanted to show someone the coat.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah, he was taking it and walking
Maybe
off
that's
with
what
it.
he was going to use to pick up the chick. Be like, I have a sexy coat for you.
We should
He
have followed
stole
him
from
around
chick.
the rest of the day. Like if he ordered pizza, just grabbed his pizza and shown it to everyone.
Like, no, I'm gonna go show it to someone.
Yeah, I need to show this to someone.
It's so weird.
And gobbing it and give it back.
It's rare that I encounter angry drunk people in Austin, but it has happened every now and then.
See-
One time we had a showing at the Draft House, and right down here in Colorado, I was walking down the street, and some guy came up behind me and said, I heard from behind me, why don't you grow some balls? And I was like, I just turned around.
He
I was
just
like,
randomly said that.
yeah, I was like, oh, I'm sorry, do you want to get by? And he looked at me, he goes, no, why don't you grow some balls? I was like, okay. I was like, I've got some. And he was just like, he just wanted to fight. Then his friends came out and grabbed him and was like, oh, we're so
but
sorry, he's just drunk.
You're an angry person by default. Did you not just want to get into a fight?
I was just shocked. It was imagine out of nowhere, you're walking down the street and someone goes, hey, why don't you grow some balls? You're like, what?
Why did they
It's not
You seem to get targeted.
yeah.
But you're so nice.
I was once drinking with Jeff at a bar, and some homeless guy came over, and he leant over. It was like iron railings, and he leant over the railings and said, "You," and pointed at Jeff, and Jeff was like, "Hey, what's up?" And he goes, "You're what's wrong with Austin." And then he turned around and just stumbled away, and Jeff was like, "What?" Just complete random interactions with just confrontational people.
So the homeless dude is what's right with Austin.
Apparently, yeah.
Apparently.
Apparently that's the.
Looks like we got someone up here at the mic.
Oh,
with a
so
question.
I am paying attention to you guys in the chat room, by the way. I'm waving.
You're waving?
Chat
You're
room,
waving?
I'm waving at you. We do have a question from the audience. What's
Hey.
your name? Where are you from?
I'm Drew. I'm all the way from Melbourne.
Nice.
Not so much of a question. I just wanted to say, Gus, I've been carrying around this James Bogues all day, and I'm really happy to
sweet.
get rid of it. So,
Bring
yeah.
it up here. It's beer.
Oh, we have beer.
Oh,
It's not cold. Get out.
nice. Wow, we have beer and whiskey now.
This is awesome.
Are you
Thank
going to
you.
share it with us? Is this part of the podcast? Like we need to drink this here?
Yeah.
He
All
he
of
said
it?
it's warm. There was no fridge in his.
I'll drink a warm beer.
Drink it. This
Like
is
warm beer?
That's my favorite Australian beer.
Is it? I assume it's not Twist Top, or is it?
I don't think it is.
Oh, it
No,
is.
It is. It's. I love. Have you ever been down to Melbourne?
I have not. I would love to
It's a
go.
beautiful city. I love it down there. They got a great area called Fitzroy. That's very similar to the South Congress area here in Austin.
Cheers, toast. I love you guys. You want to say, a lot of people are asking why Bernie's not here. I saw it online.
Bernie had a scheduling conflict. He had a problem.
Bernie hates me, doesn't
and was
he?
unable to make it out here.
Tell him,
Bernie,
Shira,
Bernie
that
loves you. Bernie
Bernie-
was super disappointed.
I know,
He
I
couldn't make
love
it out.
Bernie.
We
I'm
told
kidding.
you. You got a little upset.
I
when we
wish
told
I
you
could
he
have taken
wasn't
a
here.
picture of your face when we told you that Bernie
Come
wasn't
on,
here and I
it's
was.
his podcast.
Hey,
No, I mean, it's not. It's
come on.
Your guys'.
What am I? I'm sitting
That-
right here.
Bernie's like a big part of it. So surprised, and we were really promoting this. I wanted the whole team, the whole family. It's like not having the dad in the family.
He's the Mexican dad.
Yeah, that's me.
So speaking of dickheads and like just random assholes, I was in a cab the other day.
was that towards me?
No, that was the conversation before. I was in a cab and it was $24, right? And I always pay on card in a cab because,
Why not?
I mean, I don't hate having cash.
You're not an animal.
I was like, I got a card, and he's like, I hate cards. You got any cash? And I was like, oh, maybe. So I searched through it. I had exactly $24. I was like, all right, well, I have cash, but if you want a tip, let's do it on card. And then he grabbed my cash. He was like, no. And then I got out, and he goes, tip next time, asshole.
What?
And I just explained to him, like, if he used my card, I could have tipped him. I had just the amount.
Yeah. You explained it to him. That's his own fault.
Yeah, prick.
Is this going to be like this podcast called Douchey Experiences with Rooster Teeth?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is our new spinoff. My
It's
wife.
like, because of South by Southwest, the people of Austin just get shitty about it. I guess a cab driver would be annoyed because he can't go anywhere.
Yeah, he's stuck in traffic all the time. My wife just texted me to get angry at me. She's very upset that I did not stand to greet Rosario Dawson or Diego Luna when they got up on
really?
stage and left. Yeah.
No, she was watching. That's so
She's
funny.
watching. I'm sorry. I should have. I felt like I might get out of frame. I was.
Well,
I
they
was
were
stuck.
coming in and in and out, but they were a pleasure. And it actually worked. It was so nice having you here because the connection that you have to the story in a way through your background.
Yeah, it's I still have a lot of family that do migrant farm work, so we're very very.
I know you're a
appreciative
farmer
of the work.
too.
I am, yeah. Honestly, the real reason I didn't stand up,
Farmville.
The
So old school. Sorry.
the real reason I didn't stand up is because I had a bit of a shaving accident yesterday, and I didn't.
They're down there.
I didn't want my shirt to come up and reveal what I'd done.
What do you
Show us.
what-
Now
whoa,
you have
wait
to
a
show it.
second.
Now you
what
have to
are you talking
show it.
about?
Well, okay, let me do the story first.
Okay.
I was having a bit of a downstairs trim because,
You're not an animal.
I'm not an animal, and I looked at my stomach and I was like, my stomach's just really hairy. Maybe I could just kind of thin it out. You like trim the top off of it. And then I wasn't paying attention. It just went against my skin and just cut like a giant patch out. So to combat that, I just cut a bunch of patches out of my stomach hair, and it just looks really weird. I just didn't want to have
That
to.
is so strange.
So
Is that strange?
You didn't even try to make like a design, like a letter Z,
I
like,
thought-
like Zorro was there.
I thought maybe I could just thin it all down. I ended up just making a bunch of holes.
Let's
So
see
I
it.
patch it. All right, here it is.
All right, this is really weird. Oh no! Oh my!
Right,
Can someone
I'm
create
right
a
less,
GIF
right?
out of that? Wait, can you do that again?
No, that was
Someone
it.
needs to create a GIF out of that right now. Tweet it to us at what's trending hashtag Samsung SXSW.
But-
Just opening and closing your shirt, or lifting
Yeah,
and raising your shirt.
but Rosario Dawson doesn't need to see that. So I'm
I
gonna.
don't
sit
know.
here.
She might have felt like a quirky connection to you.
I don't think so.
Like you're eclectic. You're British.
it's
You
just
shave your
weird.
stomach in weird patches. You're just thinking.
It's a new style. You could have started something.
It's a hipster thing.
Maybe you missed it.
Yeah.
There's like-
All right, everyone else do it, so I'm not the weird one.
You have a lot of hair in general, like on your head, your chest.
You always comment about my hair. It's,
You
it's like
do.
all I have apparently.
It's
to
like
you.
a lot.
he's well insulated. He's protected against sunburns
Yeah.
and against the
I've
wind.
actually never been sunburned in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
I guess growing up in the UK, does anyone get sunburned
There's
in the
not
UK?
much of it, yeah.
There's not so much.
But I can spend a whole day in the sun without sunscreen, and I don't burn. I just get really
Really?
dark. Yeah.
We do a lot of shoots outside, and anytime we have a new PA, we always have to remind them, make sure you put a lot of sunblock on. But you always have the new guy who refuses to put sunblock on for some reason. Then about 2 hours into a shoot outside, it's just like looks like a lobster. They're so red. It's like, God, we always warn you. We warn those people about it.
Did I tell you the story one time about my friend from the UK? I was on holiday with him in France, and I went into the bathroom, and it looked like someone had shredded like a cellophane bag all over the floor, like little bits of plastic, like really light plastic. So like I opened the door, and all of this little shreds of cellophane just went like, And it turns out that he got so badly sunburnt the day before
Oh
that
my
while he was
God.
drying himself after the shower, all the skin was flaking off his back and it all
Oh
went
my
over the
God.
floor. And it's just floating around.
What?
I was livid. I walked in it.
Years ago, I used to shave my head down to a super tight buzz cut.
Yeah.
And I got a sunburn on my scalp once, and then the next day or a couple days later, it all peeled off like one long piece with tiny little holes for the hair follicle.
Wait, how did you pull that off as one piece?
It was like I started feeling it was like, oh, it's coming off, and then I just grabbed it and pulled it, and it all just came
Wow.
off. I
See,
was
that's
like,
gross,
oh.
but I bet it felt really satisfying.
It did.
It's actually
Why
like
does pulling things off your skin feel satisfying, or popping pimples? Women love doing that to guys.
yeah, but
and
like,
to themselves.
something about just ripping something off yourself. Maybe not from
This
your
is getting
arm.
such a weird conversation. We actually, a lot of people in the chat room, I need to call this out. They want lawn. I'm not kidding, and I'm not saying this like I want our staff on stage. First, how did this even happen? That lawn on stage. Everyone wants just to see lawn.
He mentioned his name in chat.
And you, all right, Lon, do you want to just show yourself? All right, this is Lon Harris. He's the head writer at What's Trending. Give it up for Lon. Have a beer, Lon.
You want an Australian beer?
Join the fun.
You want some whiskey? We
This
got
is
everything.
the most chill
Hi,
show
everybody.
we've done here at South by Southwest, actually.
Yeah, I mentioned my name. I introduced myself because Shira said, you know, they were asking Shira in the chat room, and I said, she's watching, but she's not commenting. I'm Lon, I'm commenting. And from then on,
Thanks.
clean up on the set.
Luckily, this is the last
I'll take
one of
care
the
of that
last
between
shows of
segments.
South by with that.
So hello, everybody in the chat room. You're all
They
too
think
kind.
you're the man. You dumb man.
They've made up about 18 hashtags.
You also have a ton of hair.
I do. I have a lot of hair.
It's like a grizzly man.
What's your stomach like right now?
My stomach?
Yeah.
Oh, these
Oh, no.
people are eating barbecue.
All right, so Gavin has a bad track record of doing this exact thing on our podcast all the damn time.
What?
In fact, we've been wanting to buy a new couch forever, but we don't buy it because we know this is the inevitable outcome.
You're a spaz.
Why can't you do this? Literally, 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 of beers you open explode.
Well, I've seen it when you mash the top of a beer bottle, it goes mental. But all I do is take a sip and it just goes mental.
Do you know how to do it? Take it off with your tooth? Like,
No, I'm not. I mean, I don't want to chip a tooth.
no, there are guys that can
Traditionally,
I know.
our technical director down that we normally use when we have our own podcast can do that. And she's a tiny little blonde girl.
Oh, really?
And,
It's pretty impressive.
You
She's-
give her a beer and she's just like nothing.
Was she like at a frat college? Like she's one
Probably,
of those that
right?
like party
Probably.
hard. With a
She
bunch
gives
of
off that
dudes?
vibe for sure.
But yeah,
Is that attractive when you see a girl pop open a beer with their mouth?
Yeah.
it's like that's useful. You're never in a situation where you're like,
Can you
I
do
can't
it?
enjoy this beer. You're like, hey, honey, open your mouth.
What about like that was also big when girls? Have you done this? A girl like, oh, can you take the cherry and make a little like
a knot.
knot in the cherry?
That's a myth, right?
No, people have done it.
Could you do that?
I've seen people do 2 knots.
No.
How is that possible? How long is that cherry thing?
It's crazy.
So I wonder if you could
Stem.
escalate that. If I could just be like, love, do up my shoelaces, and she does it with her tongue. That'd be impressive.
That's pretty gross, isn't it?
I don't know.
Shoes are gross when you think about it.
Shoes are really gross.
I
That's
hate
why.
shoes.
That's why we don't sign shoes.
I never sign shoes. People sometimes want an autograph on a shoe. I will not sign a shoe.
Yeah.
I just think about all the urine that has spilled on that shoe.
Well, that's the thing. Is that it's impossible for a urinal not to splash on your shoes.
I know. I
Yeah.
think about it every time I
When
see
you
a
bring
shoe.
that into your house, though, like you think how many things you bring into your home or your bed. Like how many times you
In your
just, like-
bed?
or like on your bed. Or
You wear your
room.
shoes on your bed?
Sometimes I just lie down and then I'm like, oh, there's like that little part of my shoe that's like kind of touching. I'm like, in that area, there's probably like a bacterial
Yeah, well,
infestation.
take your shoes off at the door.
That's what I
No,
do.
do you take your shoes off the door?
Yeah.
See, I'm surprised because you're from Europe. Usually, like I grew up in Montreal, and like a lot of people. This is the most general. I'm generalizing everything here, but like in Montreal, like a lot of us, we don't take our shoes off. And when I go to Europe too, I mean, in Amsterdam, like when I was in Amsterdam,
Europe and Amsterdam.
but like we don't take our shoes off. I feel there's some households that take their shoes off at the door and some that don't. And it was never a thing in my family.
It might be in those colder regions. It's cold, so people don't want to take their shoes off in the
Well,
house.
no, and it's winter and it's like gross. But I don't know why. And I hate when I get to someone's place and I have to take off my shoes and I'm not wearing the right socks.
Yeah, or you're not
Sucks.
wearing socks.
Yeah, or you're wearing like with holes in them.
I
like,
want-
it's
I
so
put my
embarrassing.
fancy hula girl socks on for this.
I have my Union Jacks on today. Oh, yeah. See that?
Socks are a big deal for us on our podcast.
Well, ever since I made fun of Bernie socks, he went mental on the sock front.
Now I feel inadequate if I don't have fancy socks.
Yeah.
Like, this is a thing in my life. Thank you for introducing this. Before, I could just wear black socks. Now it's like, oh, I gotta find cool socks.
But it's fun though. Oh, actually,
then the other day I bought beer socks and I wore them, and Bernie was like, "Oh, I almost wore those today." And I was like, "You have the same socks I do?" He's like, "Yeah, I've got those." I threw them away.
I have them too.
You have
those
them
exact
too?
socks. I got them for Christmas.
See what's happened? We've got like this escalating sock war now.
But it is a thing. Every morning when I'll get dressed, usually the way I get dressed is it's usually in the dark, and I pick up the first thing and put it on. But I have to think, am I on screen today? Do I need to go out on socks? It's the thing. It's a general
I
concern.
changed.
Yeah,
I was
you did?
wearing black socks earlier today. I put these on.
I want to know, has anyone ever worn that combination of shoe and velvet jacket before?
No, he is unique.
I'm a trendsetter. I want it to look good for Rosario Dawson. I literally went back to my house and get this jacket.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Do you think she appreciated it?
I hope so. I also put on my Captain EO shirt. It's a conversation piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
How would you describe your style, Gavin?
That would be it.
I would.
That shrug? Yeah.
Unkempt, I think, would probably be best.
I mean, it's
Come
worked
on,
all
you
right
think
for
about
me.
your hair. There is thought that goes into how you style your hair.
I've seen him do his hair. It literally takes 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, well, I get the goop, which
Oh,
I had.
let's show people the goop.
Where did I put my goop?
Right there, I see it. It's Axe goop.
I have some goop. This one's got a bit weird because I guess I've flown with it so much that it's melted and congealed so many times. It looks. Let me open it. Look at that. That's minging, right?
That could be. Some people could think that could be used for other things.
Whoa, Jesus!
No,
Watch out! There's
saying.
whiskey down there.
But yeah, you just mash it through your hands. You foof it up. This is what my hair looks like when I get out of bed, but it kind of flattens down during the day. So I just keep it up.
You don't even have any gratitude, do you? You know, some guys would die for that hair.
He's
Yeah.
still young. He's not going to have it much longer. Let's be honest. Is there a history of baldness in your family?
My granddad went bald when he was 18.
Oh.
The other one's bald too. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. Sorry, Gavin.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
You're
That's
gonna
why I'm
lose
making
your
the
hair.
most of it right now.
That's why you better work on your personality.
I want to.
Man,
All right.
ouch! It's getting vicious
Fair
up
play.
here.
Bring me more beer.
Yeah, let me read this thing here. I want to remind everyone this episode of the Rooster Teeth Podcast is also brought to you by Hulu Plus. You've probably tried Hulu.com. Hulu Plus is so much more. With Hulu Plus, you can watch your favorite shows anytime, anywhere. Hulu Plus lets you watch thousands of hit TV shows and movies in the living room or on the go with your smartphone or tablet. With Hulu Plus, you can watch your favorite TV shows like SNL, Jimmy Kimmel Live, Shark Tank, and Scandal. Watch every episode of shows like Lost, Law & Order SVU, Doctor Who, and Community. You can also check out exclusive content, including Hulu originals like The Wrong Mans and Behind the Mask, Hulu's new docuseries that takes you inside the world of sports mascots. You'll also get access to a collection of ad-free movies and kids content. For only $7.99 a month, catch up on current shows, binge on old favorites, or catch a great movie. Stream as many TV shows and movies as you want, wherever you want. Right now, you can try Hulu Plus for free for 2 weeks when you go to huluplus.com/roosterteeth. It's a special offer for our listeners. Make sure you go to huluplus.com/roosterteeth, get the extended free trial, and they know we sent you. That's huluplus.com/roosterteeth.
Love it. We actually have some really funny tweets that came through using the hashtag Samsung SXSW. Question for Gus. Did you ever find out who drank all the tequila and replaced it with boring water?
We did. Who was it? It was one.
Did we reveal that on the podcast?
I don't think we revealed
So
it.
they actually kept it there? Someone had the balls to do that?
I don't know why they think what was their defense? I think their defense was they thought it was a prop. So they drank the vodka and put the water back in.
no,
So
tequila?
it would,
Okay.
or I thought it was vodka, maybe it's just tequila.
Yeah.
And they put water back in the bottle to make it look like it was still full for a prop.
I remember Jordan doing a shot of it and being like, it's not that strong. And then Barbara did a shot and she's like, yeah, that's just water. And it had been there for ages.
Oh,
It must have been
gross.
minging. It must have had algae in it.
We also had a
Alky.
tweet from @AH Braden. He went, "That's BS. Every Canadian I know takes their shoes off." Hashtag Samsung SXSW.
Did you take my beer?
Maybe. Do you want it?
I'm over here looking for it like a jerk.
Why'd you put it on my side?
Because I had to do the ad read.
You want this one?
No.
This has more in it.
I'll take this. Jesus.
It's like we
Gavin.
made out now if you drink that.
Hey, what's up?
If you had to make out with anyone at Rooster Teeth, who would it be?
It'd be you, Gavin. If you had to make out with anyone, who would it be?
Hey, let's turn off all the cameras for a sec.
So we were talking about, like I was reading that Hulu ad read, and
Carry on.
Are you okay?
Again, do you not know how to open a bottle of beer?
This is the
he
bottle.
was just drinking it. It was already open.
So what's going on with it?
I don't know. The science. I don't know.
Hey, are you at all freaked out? Are you a nervous flyer, Shira? You fly a lot, don't you?
I do. You know what? I try not to be because I did sit next to a pilot once, and he said, like, you know, and, like, there's a lot of turbulence. He goes, you don't understand what these planes can actually take, like the amounts of, you know, like turbulence and craziness and all that. Like, you are more likely to get in an accident or get hit by a car than for your flight to crash or anything.
Well, with turbulence,
This is getting into like a really dark
you're more
conversation.
likely with turbulence to get knocked out on the inside of the plane. Than
Or
actually
is there like something to happen in the plane?
Yeah, like the plane's not going to go down. You're just going to get injured in it.
Like, it's actually very flexible. A plane is meant to like be flexible within what's going on.
There's a
the
story
weather and
a few
everything.
years ago. There was I think it was I want to say it was a Virgin Atlantic flight that was flying to Vegas. They're
Yeah.
over the Midwest. They hit a lot of turbulence, and the pilot was diving to get around the turbulence. And like you said, the wing was bending because
Yeah, I was
of all
like
the
flexible
turbulence.
bending. I'm using like terms that don't even make sense.
Really
based on
bendy.
it's like bendy and flexible. The plane.
You know, scientists with clipboards. What's the bendy factor on this wing?
Apparently, during this, while this was going on, one of the flight attendants started running up and down the aisle, screaming that they were going to crash, and the other flight attendants had to tackle her.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, they
she
fired
definitely
her.
got fired.
Yeah, she got fired.
Well, so this is my thing. Recently, I was on an overnight flight, and out of nowhere, I was starting to fall asleep, and it did start really getting bumpy. Like, but to the point where it was like it wasn't just bumpy up and down. It was like that 360
Right.
bumpiness, and that's the type of bumpiness.
360.
Like they're like it's like everywhere. It's not just side to side or up and down. It's like you feel like you're being pushed around everywhere, and you're like, okay. And then there was also thunder and everything. There had been earlier that day, so I was like, oh, are we gonna get struck by lightning? Like, I started like imagining things. And the thing I hate when the pilots, I wish they just would let you know, like, heads up in 10 minutes. And obviously you don't know sometimes, but they do know. You know, they get those messages like coming up. On this flight.
Yeah.
Like the pilots in front of them are tweeting, like, OMG, turbulence, LOL.
Yeah, but like, and so I kind of freaked out. And you have that, you know, your heart starts pounding, and I'm just like, I don't know. You think of that, like, what if? Like, do you ever think that moment, have that moment where you're like, what if this could be
Every
it?
time I fall asleep on a plane, there's like a maybe 30-second period right after I wake up where I'm so scared that I'm going to die. Every time I fall
Really?
asleep. Well, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Because my brain hasn't like sunk into rational thinking yet. So I'm like, oh my God, what if I died now? What if all my life just ended today right here? And
Well,
then
if-
it's just, and then 30 seconds go by and it's like, nah.
Well, you think about what like what actual flying is. Like, if you showed that to a caveman, it's like,
Yeah.
you're gonna get in that metal tube, and then you're gonna go really high in the sky, and then
Yeah.
you're gonna go so fast to wherever you need to go. It's like, that doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any
Well,
sense.
that's the thing. I have a friend that's like really afraid of flying, and he goes, "It just doesn't make sense how a plane can go up in the air and just stay there. Like, it actually doesn't make sense to him, and so he thinks it's not natural, and like they're just meant to crash."
Well, of course it's not natural. they're not birds. We're not like a giant pterodactyl. It's not the
And then, but
Flintstones.
he took. So I gave him some like like Xanax or something while he was flying, and he passed out and he was fine. I do not promote prescriptive drugs though. But.
Sounds like it.
That's awesome.
It's amazing how much stuff in our lives is just completely unnatural at all. Like when I was getting out of your car, I was like, oh crap, my things, because I left them in there. And it was this dumb hair goo and a Red Bull. And I was thinking, the caveman, that like nothing, it doesn't apply to anything. I need to make my hair beat up, and I need energy from liquid. It doesn't make any sense, really.
I always love the caveman analogy. I think
Yeah.
you're the one who introduced that to me. It's like you show something.
so
It's like,
interesting.
what would a caveman think about this?
Yeah. Because if a caveman didn't give a shit about it, it's not important, really.
Oh wait, that's how you like go. You live your life. You're like,
Well,
what
if
if a
something bad
caveman-
happens, I think, would this affect a caveman? If not, then I'm like, well, you know, what are you going to do? If my leg came off, that would affect a caveman. He would have to hop and kill saber-toothed tigers.
So you obviously, I mean, what about romance and love? I guess that would not affect a caveman because cavemen don't have emotions.
Just carry a
They
big
have
club.
emotions.
No, they're all about. It's just like about reproducing and.
You think a caveman never laughed?
Did a caveman ever laugh? This may be like the most deep philosophical question ever asked. Like,
I
all
reckon
of
they had
humanity has converged right now to question the laughter of a caveman.
Like caveman Dave sees caveman Steve fall down a hill. Funny, isn't it? It's funny.
We'll never know. We won't ever know.
Do animals laugh?
I don't think animals laugh. There's no. They
No,
don't
you
can't.
see those videos on YouTube of like animals like laughing? They are there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What animals laugh?
Go YouTube search animals laughing and see what you find.
I wonder if we can find caveman laughing.
Search cavemen laughing. You'll find those weird commercials for cavemen, like those brands that have like
right.
caveman commercials.
But I think that analogy works well. Like recently, a few months ago, I smashed my laptop screen. My MacBook Air is just ruined. The screen's messed up. And then I was bummed out, and then I was like, well, I'm fine still. Everything in my life is still fine, so it's just, what are you going to do?
I think there's a beautiful simplicity to that.
Yeah.
I like it.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Men tend to keep it simple. Do you notice, are you good at multitasking?
No.
Guys are not good at multitasking. And I don't want to like put a whole thing on your gender, like a whole assumption. Are you good at multitasking?
I feel like I am, but I'll accept it. I'll accept the.
No, you can offend men. You've already offended the whole of Europe, so.
or
I've
Montreal.
offended your entire audience right now. No, I find men have issues with multitasking. I'm just saying because they are simple. It's like you give men like
you say
food,
men are
sex. Like you just need to give men food, sex, and then also just take care of them. Like give them the needs like their mom gave them in a way, and they're happy.
I'd be happy with that.
You made it weird when you said mum in the same sentence as sex.
Oh no, it's a separate idea.
So
multitask your head.
Are
for a
you a
second.
good multitasker then?
Yes,
Oh.
I am.
You
actually.
are monitoring Twitter and the chat room
and I'm talking to you
and
guys.
talking to us.
I think some of the most ambidextrous men, or ambidextrous people, have been men, though. There was that one guy who could write with both hands at the same time, which is amazing. But
They're evolved. What is that? What else do they do with both hands? Then?
he could write in Spanish with one hand and German with the other hand.
No way.
Yeah.
No.
It's crazy.
That's impossible.
Were you
That's real.
jealous?
Yeah, I'd love that. See, that would get me laid. Write a love letter in two languages at the same
You could
time.
like pick up a girl from Spain and a girl from Germany all at the same time, like writing them little love notes.
Yeah.
So at Abby _MAEH wants to know, Gavin should stroke Lon's beard. I bet it feels like pure epic manliness.
I would do
Lon,
it.
do you want to come up here and we'll have Gavin stroke your beard?
You keep making him come up here, but he has like all of these obstacles to walk around.
It's like, yeah,
Well, because they keep asking, so I'm
There's-
giving the audience what they want.
there's a million
I'm
things that could go wrong.
multitasking here.
Let's have a little feel. Oh, wait.
Now that deserves a GIF too. We want a bunch of GIFs tweeted
good.
our way. Hashtag Samsung SXSW. Feels good? Is it like rough or soft?
It's I felt Jack's beard. You know Jack Patillo, right? And his giant beard. This is softer, but it's
Do
shorter.
you use conditioner?
Of course, twice a day. You got to really lather in there, and then you rinse and you repeat. That's the secret.
Someone said
Nice.
our Lord. Why are people calling you Lord? What's going on in this chat?
I don't know.
They are loving you. You're
I've
like-
officially become very popular in our
I know,
chat
and then
room.
they hate me. They want you and not me.
Hate's a very strong term. I don't know if I would go that
His
far.
beard is more impressive than yours, Shira.
I
I'm
do.
sorry.
I
You
have
want
a
to
nice
brought
beard.
Lon on. You should love me. I'm a giver.
When it says rinse and repeat, who shampoos their head twice?
I do, and it's really dirty. How many days have you gone without shampooing your hair?
I have a shower every morning.
You shower every morning?
Yeah.
And wash your hair?
So
It's
how
actually
many
not good to wash your hair every morning.
Yeah, but what's gonna happen?
How many days do you go without washing your hair?
I've gone like a week.
Yeah, that's a beer. That's not a microphone. That's a beer.
I'm like, I've gone, well, no, I shower every day. I shower, I wash my body, but then, it's not as healthy to wash your hair every day. It actually makes it dry.
Apparently, it's better to wash your hair at night because the oil can like get back in your hair in the night, and you need that oil during the day.
Such a manly
to
conversation.
combat the world.
Really? To combat the world? Again, we're fighting over oil. It always comes back to the same thing.
It's always oil.
I wanted to note something. You're a jiffer. You're
I do.
not-
Well, no, actually, at the Webbies the other year, the guy who created the GIF was on stage and he goes, "I'm going to say this once and for all. It's not a GIF. It's a GIF because image.
Do you think
image GIF.
it's a graphic
Yeah, but it's
image file?
G for
GIF.
graphic.
No, it's a GIF. Or
So
go search
he-
Webby Awards
I believe you,
GIF, and you'll see the speech this guy did.
but
And he
he
said it
no
was a
longer
GIF.
owns it. He created it. It's like George Lucas. He made Star Wars. It's Disney's
So
now.
do you go by the what the people say or by the creator?
The people. GIF.
If you're gonna call it a GIF, you're gonna start calling me Javin.
It's called what?
I would say.
Give him a mic.
I would say go with whatever the commenters say, and they're saying GIF. So I would go with that because there are a lot of them, and
I'm not going to
they're
be
very
scared. I'm going to
opinionated.
be intimidated by them.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, do your own
I don't want to be
thing.
intimidated. I love you guys. There's only love,
GIF is a
positivity.
peanut butter, though. That's the argument. Like
Right.
GIF, there is already a word GIF.
I'm a GIF, so I did go by that.
That's a great counter argument.
Thank you.
I appreciate
Thank you.
that. I think you're in the GIF camp also, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, GIF.
Yeah.
Most of us say GIF.
What?
Most of us in the know say GIF, Shira.
Wow, you
Come
are
on
totally
board.
throwing me under the
Get
bus.
on our
here.
level.
Should I just make everyone feel bad for me and like start crying?
Try it. We'll see.
You know, we have a
do you
mic
do
there.
that? Do you do the cry thing?
I cry. I'm a sensitive. Lon's seen me cry.
It's happened.
No,
Did you
use your
make her
mic,
cry?
Lon. You
I
work
have
take
made
a mic.
Shira cry. We
Take
can
a
talk
mic.
about it.
Can you take a mic?
You've
no,
made her-
there's
I'll take
another
the
mic
mic.
right
There's another
there.
mic.
Can we get a fourth mic? Oh, it's right here.
You've made
There,
her
take
cry.
This is getting really personal.
I have
This
made
is-
Shira cry more than one time. We've known each other a long time, though.
You
so in
sound
fairness,
really proud of that.
I'll do what I can. I'm here to help.
I appreciate it. Well, why do I cry? From your
tend to get-
perspective.
you take on a lot, and then you get very stressed out, and sometimes it comes out in tears.
Oh, this is getting good. Keep going.
Every
Keep
time
going.
Shira cries, Lon's beard gets a little mightier. It like grows a little.
A little more lush and full every time. Every time.
I was telling Gus before we started that the best thing about going on What's Trending is the 45 seconds right before you roll, because everyone's yelling at everyone.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
chaos.
Total
and you're
chaos.
like, you're freaking out. It's the best. We should start rolling 45 seconds
And
earlier every show.
There's someone calling out a countdown, and it's just like, it seems like it's getting more and more manic, and then it's like,
Yeah.
oh, hey, everyone, how's it going?
9,
So wait.
7.
So wait, it's not like that on
We're
your guys'
angry.
podcast? You're
No,
all
so
cool and collected?
We have been caught off guard before, where it starts with like, oh, shit, we're live. Hey, what's up?
My favorite thing to do is go to the bathroom as close to the start of the podcast as possible. to really
You've gotten
freak it
bad
out.
about that.
Yeah, but I've never been late to a podcast.
Yeah.
I'm in my seat with my knob out before every podcast.
We're very lucky in that the control room is very removed from the set, and we can't hear any of that chaos. We have a lot of our control room people sitting back over here.
Oh, that helps,
So,
yeah.
like, I'm sure it's chaotic in there, but on the set, we're just like, oh, hey, what's up?
Yeah, we like to keep it real.
I mean, you like to yell at us before we go live.
Me? I don't yell. I'm not a yeller.
Where's this thing that was here 2 seconds ago that's not here anymore?
There's a lot of laughter coming from your crew over there. So
Hey, they
Why
know.
are you laughing? It's not funny.
Back me up here, guys. They know.
So have you cried? Do you cry ever in front of people?
I was trying to figure this out recently because someone asked me. I don't think I've cried in about 15 years.
Are you kidding? Well, then there's something wrong with you.
That's
No,
what
I
everyone
don't-
says.
I don't really cry either. I mean,
You don't
nothing that
cry.
tragic has happened to me, but I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
if-
really cry.
Like, you have nothing bad
regularly.
like has happened in your life that you're like, oh, that's
No, I have
I-
a really.
I
I
think-
have an insanely lucky life. I'm really happy all the time.
Oh, so you're saying I don't
I'm not
live a happy
bragging. I'm
life.
just saying I've
What
got
are you
nothing to
saying?
cry about.
I mean, I'm miserable, but I just don't cry.
I think it's been about 25 years since I've cried.
Really?
I cried at my
Dude.
my grandfather's funeral, and I teared up a little bit at the end of Return of the King. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Watching the elves fade off to the west, it was a little emotional.
Wow.
But that's the closest. That's the closest I've come to crying in 25 years.
Were you confused as to why you were crying about that?
No, I
That
was
fictional
like, I was
creatures
like
Like
tearing up,
Frodo.
and I was like, "This is the stupidest thing ever."
I still have 8 more endings to sit through.
Were you with Esther?
No, it was before we were
pre-Esther.
married.
So all those BuzzFeed and Upworthy posts, like you're gonna cry if you watch this. Like, do you ever click on those?
No.
This
No
video will
Upworthy
change
post
your
has ever
life.
made me cry.
This video will change your life and will tear up your soul.
Like if you cry every time.
When was the last time you cried, Shira?
Probably
Was it today?
What time is it?
Just because I'm in touch with my emotions. You know what I've realized is like I used to, I don't know, it's like I have a harsh edge, and I think it's because I'm like so much is going on, and I have to put on this, front, like take control of everything. That in the end I'm sensitive though. I am a sensitive creature. I'm like a flower.
Why put on the front then? Why not just be sensitive?
Well, because there's a lot going on, and like you need a,
Karate chop.
you need to crash off people.
Like a caveman.
And there's a lot going on, and you need to just stay grounded and
I feel
get
like
through it.
emotions make you make bad decisions.
I
So
know
if
it
you
makes me
eliminate
more
that,
you're reactionary. You're just reactive instead of, stepping back out of it. Sometimes you do need to, even though you're like heated up and you're feeling things, you need to step out of it. And then sometimes at the end of the day, it catches up with you, and when you're alone,
Yeah, I mean, in
You
fairness,
are
I think we're
crying
making Shira sound like an emotional wreck, but it's not. It's not there.
it's getting more and more depressing.
I'm around so many dudes all day. It's like my only part of me that's like still like a woman. This is getting so out
I don't even know how to respond to that. honestly.
This is
I
getting
am.
deliciously deep right now.
It's wonderful. Do we have do you want to lay down on the couch? We can talk about our feelings a little more.
Yeah, I feel like I'm about ready to open up.
Someone said
It's been 20 minutes.
they want a Jack versus Lon battle.
What, with a length
Beards.
of beard?
The beards.
Because his beard is longer than Lon's.
It is. I met Jack, and his beard is actually longer and fuller than mine. So I have to concede.
Open that for me. Open that for me. Yeah.
A lot of people actually said in this they cry, so thank you for all you people who were honest.
There's
Win.
no
with me in
shame
this
in
chat
crying.
room.
I just don't do it. I would do it if something made me cry.
Why are you people saying Gavin or Google? Gavin or Google?
We don't have that.
People love doing
We're
that.
not prepped for that.
That takes some prep. It's like the one thing I have to do preparation for.
It's the one thing in your life you have to be ready for.
Yeah.
Hashtag we want Mike. Why someone else Mike's in the chat room now?
Are
People-
you tweeting this chat?
We're
Are you-
live tweeting. I'm in the chat room. I'm just like responding to people.
All right.
You brought me up there, so now they expect all of their requests are going to go through. Like now
there's
they're
a-
just asking for the mood.
There's
They're
a lot of
like,
hashtags. Hashtag deliciously deep. People are sharing that. Hashtag Mike on Mike.
Okay.
Someone said throwing Shira under a bus is a great idea. Thanks.
No, I think they were talking about I came on here and threw you under the bus because I said you cried all the time. Although I got to be honest.
Last year, you all were broadcasting from like a little bus.
The
We
John
had that
Lennon
during
bus,
the music,
yeah.
during music portion of
This
South
is
by
a little
Southwest.
roomier.
It is. No, this is great. We couldn't be prouder to be set up here at the Samsung Blogger Lounge. Check out this UHD TV.
So we
that is
Hashtag Samsung
so
SXSW.
beautiful.
We
It
walked in and Gavin said, "How big is that TV?" And I said, "I know that TV. That's an 85-inch 4K TV.
So that's 4K.
I drool over that TV all the time. So when we're done here, I can pull my car around and just load it up,
That's
right?
the swag we're giving away.
That wouldn't fit in your Prius.
Oh, it would. I wouldn't take you. I wouldn't be able to fit you anymore.
Oh.
But I'd take that.
So we might have to wrap this up.
Yes, we do.
Because,
That's
Yeah.
why I came out here. Guys, we got to wrap this up.
We're at time.
This is producing.
So I want to thank everyone for joining us today. I think we've had a great conversation
we
with
have. We've
Rosa-
gone to so many deep places.
Big thanks to Rosario Dawson,
yes,
Diego Luna.
Rosario and Diego. Cesar Chavez in theaters March 28th.
Go watch
Go
it.
check it out.
Thanks to Lon as well.
Oh, thank you guys. It's been what an
Lon, you are
unexpected
suddenly
delight.
a star in the Rooster Teeth community.
And thanks to Glenn, Operation Supply Drop. We'll be talking a lot more about
Glenn.
them in the coming weeks. And big thanks to Shira and the rest of the What's Trending crew. Y'all have been awesome. Thank you for having us.
Nice.
Am I allowed back on your podcast?
Yeah.
Next time you come down to our studio, we'll do it in our hometown.
I know. Thank you. I'd love
Bring
that.
whiskey.
Yes.
I could bring a lot of different things.
Hashtag bring whiskey.
I'll bring tears.
Leave those at home. All right. Well, thanks, everyone. We'll be
and this will be on youtube.com/what's trending, by the way, if people want to watch the video.
great. Yeah, come back. Check it out. So thanks for watching, everyone.
Bye.
Hi, everybody.